Welcome back to the channel, where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary stories of wealth, history, and jaw-dropping value. Today's video is not just about money, it's about hidden treasures, once-in-a-lifetime discoveries, and the rare US coins that have shocked the world by selling for mind-blowing amounts. From forgotten pocket change to legendary minting mistakes, these coins prove that a single piece of metal can change a life forever. The 1965 quarter dollar sits at the very edge of American coin history, born in a year when everything changed. Until 1964, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver, but rising silver prices forced the government to abandon precious metal coinage. In 1965, the switch to copper-nickel-clad coins officially began, and that transition created chaos inside the U.S. Mint. New metals, old dyes, experimental strikes, and human error collided, and that is exactly how legendary coins are born. To most people, a 1965 quarter looks ordinary, even worthless when it's dirty and worn. But to collectors, it can represent the thin line between pocket change and a life-changing discovery. What makes the 1965 quarter so fascinating is not the date alone, but the rare possibilities hidden behind it. While most 1965 quarters are common and worth only face value, a tiny number were struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from 1964. These are known as transitional error coins, and they are among the most hunted treasures in U.S. numismatics. A genuine 1965 quarter struck on silver doesn't just break rules, it breaks records. Verified examples have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and in top condition, values can climb even higher. This is why collectors never ignore a dirty or damaged coin. Rarity does not care about appearance. Condition often fools people, but in the world of rare coins, dirt can actually protect value. Coins that spent decades in jars, drawers, or old piggy banks sometimes avoided harsh cleaning that destroys originality. A very dirty 1965 quarter might still retain its original surfaces underneath that grime. If it turns out to be a silver error or a major mint mistake, that dirt becomes irrelevant. Collectors value authenticity over shine, and untouched coins, no matter how ugly, often command stronger prices than polished, damaged ones. Beyond silver errors, the 1965 quarter is also known for dramatic minting mistakes that can explode its value. Off-center strikes, double-die errors, clipped planchets, and wrong metal strikes are all documented for this era. These are not small imperfections. They are visible, undeniable anomalies that make a coin instantly desirable. Some error quarters from the mid-1960s have sold for thousands of dollars because they are one-of-a-kind survivors from a chaotic production period. One coin, one mistake, one moment at the mint. That's all it takes. The reason rare U.S. coins can sell for such staggering amounts is simple. Supply is tiny, demand is relentless, and history can never be recreated. When a coin represents a mistake the mint will never repeat, collectors compete fiercely to own it. Wealthy investors, museums, and elite collectors are constantly searching for these pieces, driving prices higher year after year. This is why certain U.S. coins have crossed six-figure and even million-dollar thresholds at auction. They are not just money, they are irrep. Stories of ordinary people discovering extraordinary coins are not myths, they happen more often than you think. A forgotten coin jar, an inherited collection, or loose change from decades ago has produced verified rarities time and time again. The key difference is knowledge. Most people spend rare coins because they don't know what to look for. Those who understand dates, mint marks, metal weight, and errors are the ones who turn curiosity into fortune. One careful check can change. If you ever come across a 1965 quarter, the first step is simple but crucial. Do not spend it and do not clean it. Cleaning destroys microscopic details that collectors and grading services rely on. Instead, check the weight. Silver quarters weigh more than clad ones, and listen to the sound when gently tapped, as silver rings differently. These small tests can separate an ordinary coin from something extraordinary before professional authentication. The idea that a single coin can transform your financial future may sound unbelievable, but numismatic history proves it again and again. Coins like the 1913 Liberty nickel, the 1804 silver dollar, and rare transitional errors all started as everyday money before becoming legendary. The 1965 D-quarter lives in that same shadowy space between common and priceless. Most are nothing, but the rare few are EV. This is why collectors say coins are time capsules. They carry stories of economic shifts, government decisions, and human mistakes frozen in metal. The 1965 D-quarter captures the exact moment America said goodbye to silver coinage, and that moment left behind anomalies worth hunting for. Every scratch, every stain, every irregularity could be a clue pointing toward rarity. So the next time you see a dirty old quarter from 1965, don't dismiss it as spare change. Look closer, weigh it, respect it, because somewhere out there, tucked away in a forgotten pile of coins, may be a small, unassuming disc of metal that carries unimaginable value. In numismatics, fortunes don't always shine, they wait to be discovered. Next up too in the idea of a 1968 D United States quarter dollar turning up in a very dirty, overlooked condition and changing someone's life overnight is exactly the kind of story that fuels the passion of coin collecting. And for good reason. To most people, a grimy 1968 quarter looks like spare change, something easily ignored or spent without a second thought. But in numismatics, history has proven time and again that the most unassuming coins can hide astonishing value. These are not just pieces of metal. They are silent witnesses to minting mistakes, transitional years, and rare anomalies that can elevate an ordinary-looking coin into the realm of unimaginable wealth. The year 1968 holds a special place in U.S. coinage history. It was part of the critical post-silver transition era, when the U.S. Mint was still adapting to new copper-nickel-clad compositions after removing silver from circulating quarters in 1965. The Denver Mint struck millions of quarters that year, but buried among those ordinary issues are extraordinarily rare errors and anomalies. It is these rare deviations, rather than the date alone, that can transform a filthy, worn coin into a life-altering discovery. Dirt, wear, and neglect do not automatically destroy value. In some cases, they hide it. What truly makes a 1968 D quarter potentially priceless is the presence of extreme mint errors. Coins struck on the wrong planchet, such as experimental metal compositions, off-metal errors, or transitional strikes intended for testing, are among the most coveted pieces in American numismatics. A 1968 D quarter accidentally struck on a silver or foreign planchet, or one showing dramatic die errors like major doubled dies, off-center strikes, or wrong metal compositions, can command staggering prices. These are the kinds of coins that have sold for hundreds of thousands, and in exceptional cases, millions, because they are unique survivors of minting history. Condition, surprisingly, is not always the deciding factor in these cases. Even a very dirty or heavily circulated coin can be worth a fortune if it possesses the right characteristics. Collectors and auction houses focus on rarity and authenticity, not cosmetic beauty alone. In fact, many record-setting coins were once dismissed as damaged or worthless before experts recognized their true nature. Dirt can be cleaned professionally by conservation experts, but a rare mint error can never be recreated. That is why spending such a coin, unknowingly, could mean throwing away generational wealth. Stories of rare U.S. coins creating instant millionaires are not myths, they are documented realities. Coins like the 1913 Liberty head nickel, the 1974 aluminum cent, and certain transitional era quarters have changed lives overnight. These discoveries often came from old jars, inherited collections, forgotten drawers, or even loose change. This is why collectors stress one crucial rule: never spend a potentially rare coin until it has been examined by a professional. What looks like pocket change could be a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. The 1968 D quarter fits perfectly into this narrative of hidden fortune. While the vast majority are common, a single extraordinary example, especially one with a documented mint error, can be worth more than houses, businesses, or entire investment portfolios. That is the power of rarity. One coin, one mistake at the mint, one survivor that slipped through unnoticed, and suddenly you are holding an object collectors around the world would fight to own. This is how coins become tickets to unimaginable wealth. For viewers watching today, this is not just history, it is a call to action. Take a moment to check your old piggy banks, inherited collections, jars of coins, and forgotten boxes. Look closely at dates, mint marks, weight, and metal color. A coin that feels heavier, looks different, or simply doesn't seem right deserves attention. You might think you are holding a dirty quarter, but you could be holding a key to financial freedom if it turns out to be one of those ultra-rare anomalies. This is exactly why the world of rare coins is so captivating. Unlike stocks or real estate, you don't always need massive capital to get started. Sometimes, fortune hides in plain sight. A single quarter, ignored for decades, can outperform lifetime savings if it is the right coin. That thrill, that possibility, is what keeps collectors searching and why these coins continue to command astronomical prices in today's market. So if you have a 1968 D quarter, do not rush to judgment. Do not clean it aggressively, do not spend it, and do not assume it is worthless. Have it weighed, examined, and authenticated by professionals. Because history has proven one thing beyond doubt. Rare U.S. coins are not just collectibles. They are financial miracles waiting to be discovered. Stick around, because in this video, we are diving deeper into the most expensive United States coins on the market today, uncovering how ordinary people stumbled upon extraordinary wealth. If you have ever wondered how a simple coin could change your destiny, today's story might just be the one that makes you look at your pocket change very differently. Next up in the idea of an ultra-rare 1985 D United States quarter dollar sparks instant excitement. And that excitement is exactly why this coin has become such a powerful topic in the world of modern numismatics. At first glance, a dirty, worn quarter from 1985 might look like nothing more than pocket change, something easily overlooked or spent without a second thought. But in the collector's world, coins like this remind us of a powerful truth. Value is not always about shine or beauty. Sometimes, it is hidden beneath years of grime, scratches, and neglect, waiting for the right eyes to recognize its true potential. The 1985 D Washington quarter was produced in enormous numbers at the Denver Mint, which is why most examples are only worth face value. However, what transforms an ordinary coin into a legendary one is rarity created by mistakes, minting errors so unusual that only a handful are known to exist. When an error coin slips through quality control and enters circulation, it becomes a silent anomaly, a tiny piece of history that defies the rules. These rare error quarters can command astonishing prices, and this is where whispers of life-changing money begin to surface. Some of the most valuable 1985 D quarters are those struck on the wrong planchet, missing a clad layer, or displaying dramatic off-center strikes and doubled dies. These are not minor imperfections. They are bold, unmistakable errors that collectors fiercely compete for. Even a quarter in extremely dirty condition can be worth thousands, or far more, if it carries one of these rare traits. Dirt does not erase rarity. In fact, many high-value coins were discovered exactly as they were found in pockets, jars, or forgotten piggy banks. What makes these coins so fascinating is the psychological pull they hold over collectors and dreamers alike. The idea that a single coin, something most people ignore every day, could unlock unimaginable wealth is intoxicating. It's not just metal, it's hope, history, and possibility rolled into one small disc. Stories of rare U.S. coins selling for 6 or 7 figures fuel the belief that somewhere out there, an unrecognized treasure is still hiding in plain sight. The market for rare error coins has exploded in recent years, driven by online auctions, social media, and a new generation of collectors hungry for discoveries. When a previously unknown error surfaces and is authenticated by a major grading service, the value can skyrocket almost overnight. This is how legends are born in numismatics. One moment, it's a grimy quarter. The next, it's a centerpiece of a world-class collection, fought over by bidders with deep pockets. It's important to understand that not every 1985 D quarter is valuable, and most will never be worth more than 25 cents. But the few that break the mold are the reason collectors say, never spend old coins without looking at them. All it takes is one rare error, one overlooked detail to change the story completely. That slim chance is enough to keep people searching, checking, and hopping. This is why experts always warn, if you suspect you have something unusual, do not clean it. Cleaning can destroy surface details and drastically reduce value. A dirty coin can be priceless. A cleaned coin can be ruined. The grime you see may be protecting evidence of a rare minting mistake beneath it. Preservation, not appearance, is what matters in the high-stakes world of rare coins. For many collectors, the thrill is not just about money, but about discovery. Finding a rare coin connects you directly to history and chance. The 1985 D quarter represents a modern reminder that even in an age of mass production, mistakes still happen, and those mistakes can become treasures. That possibility keeps collectors searching through old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers with renewed excitement. As you look at your own coins, remember that value often hides where you least expect it. That dull, dirty quarter might not change your life, but then again, it just might. Every legendary coin was once ordinary to someone who didn't know what they had. That's what makes this journey so thrilling, so addictive, and so powerful. So before you dismiss that pile of change in the corner, take a closer look. Examine dates, mint marks, and strange details. The next great discovery might already be in your hands. Stick around, because the world of rare US coins is full of surprises, and the coin you overlook today could be worth far more than you ever imagined tomorrow. Next up, in the 1988 United States quarter dollar may look like an ordinary, even forgotten coin, especially when it's very dirty, worn, and pulled from the depths of an old piggy bank. But in the world of numismatics, appearances can be dangerously deceiving. Time and time again, history has proven that the most life-changing treasures are hidden in plain sight. What many people casually spend without a second thought has, in rare cases, transformed ordinary individuals into overnight legends among collectors. This is exactly why the 1988 P quarter has become such a fascinating subject, stirring curiosity, speculation, and excitement across the coin-collecting community. At first glance, a dirty 1988 P quarter feels insignificant, but seasoned collectors know that condition alone does not define value. Rarity, errors, and anomalies do. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1988 were produced in massive numbers, yet within those millions exist microscopic deviations that separate a common coin from a potentially fortune-altering discovery. A misaligned die, an off-metal strike, a double die error, or a dramatic mint flaw can instantly elevate this seemingly ordinary quarter into a coin that commands staggering prices at elite auctions. What truly ignites the imagination is the possibility that one of these ultra-rare error examples could still be sitting unnoticed in circulation. Unlike gold bars locked away in vaults, rare US coins often remain hidden in everyday places: old jars, inherited collections, forgotten drawers, or piles of loose change. A heavily worn or dirty appearance can actually mask critical details, allowing a six-figure or even seven-figure rarity to go undetected for decades. That is why experts repeatedly warn, never dismiss a coin based solely on how it looks. The dream of unimaginable wealth tied to rare US coins is not a fantasy. It has happened before. Coins once considered worthless have sold for hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars when the right combination of rarity, error, and historical intrigue came together. While a standard 1988 P quarter is worth face value, A unique error specimen certified by a major grading service could rewrite that narrative entirely. In the high-stakes world of elite numismatics, collectors are not paying for metal. They are paying for uniqueness, story, and scarcity. What makes this coin even more intriguing is how accessible it still is. Unlike colonial coins or early silver dollars that are already locked away in museums and private collections, the 1988 P quarter remains part of modern circulation history. That means the door is still open. Every time you sift through old change, you are participating in a silent treasure hunt, one where the prize could be worth far more than anyone ever imagined when that coin first left the mint. Collectors obsess over details most people never notice: unusual weight, missing clad layers, extreme die cracks, or doubling so subtle it requires magnification. These tiny imperfections are the fingerprints of rarity. If your 1988 P quarter looks odd, feels different, or simply doesn't seem right, that instinct should never be ignored. Many of the most valuable U.S. coins discovered in recent decades were initially dismissed as damaged junk, until experts took a closer look. The emotional pull of these discoveries is powerful because they represent more than money. They symbolize luck, patience, and the thrill of uncovering something extraordinary where no one else bothered to look. A single coin can alter a family's future, fund dreams, or become a once-in-a-lifetime story passed down through generations. That's why collectors say rare coins don't just hold value, they hold destiny. This is why you should never spend an unusual coin without proper evaluation. A quarter used to buy a cup of coffee today could have been the key to unimaginable wealth tomorrow. Professional grading and authentication are essential, as the difference between a 25-cent coin and a six-figure treasure often comes down to expert verification. In the numismatic market, certified rarity is power. As the market for rare U.S. coins continues to heat up, driven by wealthy collectors and investors seeking tangible assets, demand for unique error coins has never been stronger. Prices that once seemed impossible are now being realized at major auctions. The idea of a coin changing your fortune overnight is no longer a myth. It is a documented reality, fueled by scarcity and obsession. So take a moment. Check your old collections, your forgotten jars, your dusty boxes of change. That dirty 1988 P quarter you almost ignored could be far more than spare change. In the incredible world of rare American coins, history has taught us one undeniable truth. The smallest discoveries often carry the biggest rewards, and the next legendary find could be resting quietly in your hands right now.